My God, there's a ton of them. Taking you over to this hedge apple tree. It's got a couple different names to it. Osage orange or Osage orange, named after a local Indian tribe. These trees were planted in where they needed fences, basically, but they didn't want to do fencing because they have really big spikes. But they also have these weird brain-looking growths that look marginally like an orange. Most of the time I've seen them, they've been green. But these guys here, they actually are supposed to... The bugs are worse here in fall than they are in summertime. But these guys are actually supposed to ward away spiders, and so in the Midwest, you'll see them selling these at farmers markets. They aren't edible, so please don't. But if they add to your seasonal decor, or they actually do keep your spiders away, they're kind of a good indicator of fall. They used to be all up in the trees, and we managed to get a few, which was pretty silly, given the fact that they fall all by themselves without you having to go climb for them. So, quite a few. They have a pretty floral scent, which is kind of nice. Even the deer don't like them. We have a lot of deer. My God, there's a ton of them. Look how many! Look how many there are back in the woods. Look how many. These are also called horse apples. Not real sure why. I don't think horses would eat them if the deer don't. And my husband, with his handy hatchet, has managed to cut one open. Smells pretty floral. A little bit citrusy, I could see. But definitely not for your morning juice. This tree is on the kind of the corner of our property, on the lower end. And you can see that this probably was planted along the property line for use of fencing. That line of cypress there, that is actually the property line for our neighbors. And then behind us is our flat open land. Everything else here is wooded, which is nice because we don't have a whole lot of maintenance or upkeep that we need to worry about too much. It's a little bit of open land by the house, but not too bad. And then there is the main roadway. One of the things I'd be really interested in at this property is foraging. We're reading a lot of books. Haven't really been able to figure out what any of this stuff is, probably because it's just not the prime season for foraging, given that it's fall. But we've got quite a few different things growing here. If anyone happens to know what any of these are, I would love to know. This is in the open field. I think this is going to be planted with beans next year in an attempt to get rid of the so-called weeds. The farmer who contacted us about this land, I guess he's been farming it for quite some time. And when they tried to sell the property, they decided not to farm it, which is good because we never would have gotten a loan from the bank. at least not conventionally. And so he's agreed to do beans for a couple years, get rid of these so-called weeds, and then he's going to attempt on our request to do some spray-free hay, which will be good because by that time, 4 or 5 years from now, we'll be ready to have some land that we can fodder for our own animals. But until then, we really won't be ready for any of that. So yeah, if you happen to know what any of this stuff is, shoot it in the comments below. So we'll just keep exploring little pieces of our property as we find them ourselves, and we'll share them with you. Thanks for coming.